Ever wondered how to grill the perfect Wagyu steak? It all starts with selecting the perfect cut. Wagyu, a type of beef that originates from Japan, is renowned for its exceptional marbling, tenderness, and flavor. This is not your everyday beef, folks. This is the creme de la creme of meats, the piece de resistance of any barbecue. But before we fire up the grill, let's delve into the fascinating world of Wagyu grades. You see, not all Wagyu is created equal. There are different grades, each distinguished by factors such as marbling, color, and texture. The highest grade, A5, boasts the most intense marbling and is considered the epitome of fine dining. The lower grades, while not as extravagantly marbled, still offer a superior eating experience compared to other types of beef. Now, marbling is the name of the game when it comes to Wagyu. It's those beautiful veins of fat running through the meat that melt during cooking, infusing the beef with a richness and depth of flavor that is simply unparalleled. It's also what gives Wagyu its signature tenderness, creating a melt-in-your-mouth sensation that is downright heavenly. So how do you choose the right cut for grilling? Well, it depends on what you're after. If you're going for a classic steak, the ribeye or strip loin with their generous marbling are excellent choices. If you're in the mood for something a bit leaner but still packed with flavor, the tenderloin is your best bet. And let's not forget the hamburger where the chuck or brisket cuts shine, offering a fantastic balance of meat and fat for that perfect juicy burger. But remember, the best cut of Wagyu is the one that suits your taste buds. Whether you prefer a heavily marbled A5 ribeye or a leaner cut like the tenderloin, there's a Wagyu cut out there for everyone. Remember, the perfect grilled Wagyu starts with the perfect cut, so choose wisely. Once you have your perfect cut of Wagyu, it's time to prepare it for the grill. Now, the first step in preparing Wagyu for grilling is thawing. If your Wagyu has been stored in the freezer, you'll want to thaw it properly to ensure the best results. Place your Wagyu in the refrigerator for a full 24 hours before you plan to grill. This allows it to thaw slowly and evenly, preserving its delicate textures and flavors. But that's not all. After thawing, you should bring your Wagyu to room temperature before grilling. This is a crucial step that ensures even cooking. Leave your Wagyu on the kitchen counter for about 30 minutes to an hour before you start grilling. Remember, patience is key here. You don't want to rush this process and risk losing the Wagyu's unique characteristics. Now let's talk about seasoning. When it comes to Wagyu, less is often more. The beef itself is so flavorful that you don't need much to enhance its natural goodness. A simple sprinkle of good quality sea salt and freshly ground black pepper is usually enough to make your Wagyu sing. You can also add a touch of olive oil to help the seasoning stick to the meat and to add a little extra sizzle on the grill. Of course, there's no harm in getting creative with your seasonings. If you're feeling adventurous, you could explore gourmet marinades and rubs. A garlic and herb rub or a sweet and smoky barbecue marinade could add an exciting twist to your Wagyu. But remember, the goal is to complement the beef's natural flavors, not overpower them. One last tip before we move on to grilling. Make sure to pat your Wagyu dry with a paper towel before seasoning. This removes excess moisture and ensures a beautifully caramelized crust when grilled. With your Wagyu now perfectly seasoned and ready, it's time to fire up the grill. A well-prepared grill is key to achieving that perfect sear on your Wagyu. Now when it comes to grilling, we have two main methods to consider: indirect and direct heat. Indirect heat grilling is like turning your grill into an outdoor oven, where the food cooks in the enclosed space, not directly over the flames. This method is perfect for larger, thicker cuts of Wagyu that require slower, more gentle cooking. On the other hand, direct heat grilling places your Wagyu right above the flame, providing a quick, high-heat sear that locks in those mouth-watering flavors. This approach is best for thinner cuts, where the goal is a crispy exterior and a juicy, tender interior. So, how do we achieve the perfect grilling temperature for our Wagyu? Grilling is more of an art than a science, but here are some general guidelines to help you along the way. For indirect heat grilling, you'll want your grill to maintain a steady temperature of around 250 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. This low and slow method ensures your larger cuts cook evenly without burning the outside. If you're using the direct heat method, crank that grill up to a fiery 500 to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. This high heat gives your Wagyu a beautiful caramelized sear in a matter of minutes. Remember, the desired level of doneness will also influence your grilling temperature. A rare steak requires a searing hot grill to quickly brown the outside while keeping the inside cool and red. For a medium rare to medium steak, you'll want a slightly lower temperature to ensure the middle reaches the perfect pink without overcooking. And there you have it. The secret to grilling Wagyu lies in understanding and controlling your heat sources. Whether you prefer the low and slow approach or the high-heat sear, mastering your grill's temperature is the first step to unlocking Wagyu's full potential. With your grill now ready, it's time to introduce it to your Wagyu. Now the moment of truth, grilling your Wagyu steak to perfection. It's time to master the art of searing. The goal here is to create a beautifully caramelized crust on the outside of your Wagyu steak while preserving its tender and juicy interior. The secret lies in high heat and quick cooking. Remember, Wagyu is not your average steak and it deserves special treatment. Start by placing your steak on the preheated grill. The sizzle you hear when the steak hits the grill is the sound of deliciousness in the making. Now, this is where timing becomes crucial. For a steak that's about an inch thick, you'll want to sear each side for about 2 to 3 minutes. This will give your steak that crispy, caramelized crust we all crave. While your steak is searing, let's talk about temperature. Monitoring the internal temperature of your steak is key to achieving your desired level of doneness. For a rare steak, aim for an internal temperature of about 120 to 125 degrees Fahrenheit. If you prefer your steak medium rare, look for a temperature of around 130 to 135 degrees. Now here's a pro tip: invest in a good meat thermometer. It takes out the guesswork and ensures your steak is cooked exactly to your liking. Once you've seared your steak and it's reached the ideal internal temperature, it's time for a little rest. No, not for you, for the steak. Letting your steak rest for a few minutes after grilling allows the juices to redistribute throughout the meat, resulting in a more tender and flavorful steak. So, there you have it. With a little bit of knowledge and some attention to detail, you can transform a premium Wagyu steak into a grilled masterpiece. And voila, you've just grilled your Wagyu steak to perfection. But wait, there's more. If you thought Wagyu steaks were amazing, wait until you try Wagyu burgers. Now let's dive into the world of grilling Wagyu burgers, a culinary delight that will elevate your burger game to new heights. Wagyu beef patties are renowned for their rich flavor and buttery texture, making them an absolute treat for the taste buds. But to truly unlock the potential of this premium meat, we need to approach it with care and finesse. The first step is shaping your Wagyu patties. You don't want them too thick or too thin. About an inch thick is just right. Gently form the patty without overworking the meat. The aim is to keep that marbling intact, as it's the secret to Wagyu's exquisite flavor. Next, it's time to season. While Wagyu is delicious on its own, a touch of seasoning can enhance its natural flavors. Sea salt and freshly ground pepper will do just fine. Sprinkle it generously over your patty, but remember, less is more when it comes to seasoning Wagyu. We want the beef to be the star of the show. Once your patty is seasoned, it's time for the grill. You want a high, direct heat to achieve that charred exterior while retaining the juicy, buttery interior. Place your patty on the grill and let it sear undisturbed for about 3 minutes, then flip it over for another 3 minutes. Remember, Wagyu cooks faster than regular beef, so keep an eye on it. And here's a pro tip. Resist the urge to press down on your Wagyu patty with your spatula. We want to keep all those delicious juices inside the burger, not on the grill. Finally, it's time to take your patty off the grill. Let it rest for a couple of minutes to allow those juices to redistribute throughout the meat. This step is crucial for achieving that perfect, juicy Wagyu burger. Your Wagyu burger is now ready to be devoured, but before you do, let's explore some serving suggestions. The perfect grilled Wagyu deserves the perfect presentation and accompaniments. Let's dive into the art of serving and enjoying your Wagyu creations. The presentation is just as crucial as the preparation and grilling. It's all about the complete experience. First, let's discuss serving suggestions. For Wagyu steaks, a simple presentation often works best. Place the steak on a warm plate to maintain its temperature. You might want to consider slicing the steak into bite-sized pieces to showcase the perfectly cooked interior. Now, for Wagyu burgers, a brioche bun is a popular choice due to its soft, sweet nature, which pairs wonderfully with the rich Wagyu flavors. Don't forget to add your favorite toppings, but remember the star of the show is the Wagyu, so don't overshadow it. Next, let's talk about accompaniments. The rich, buttery flavor of Wagyu pairs well with both bold and subtle flavors. For a side dish, consider grilled vegetables like asparagus or bell peppers. Their smoky flavor complements the Wagyu without overpowering it. If you're in the mood for something a bit more substantial, a side of mashed potatoes or a fresh salad can balance out the richness of the beef. As for drinks, a full-bodied red wine like a Cabernet Sauvignon or a Shiraz is a classic pairing. Their robust flavors can stand up to the intense, rich taste of the Wagyu. If wine isn't your thing, a dark beer or a whiskey can also make for a delightful pairing. Now we encourage you to savor each bite of your Wagyu creation. Take a moment to appreciate the melt-in-your-mouth texture, the deep, complex flavors, and the satisfying, buttery finish. This is the fruit of your labor, the culmination of your grilling journey. So sit back, enjoy, and let the flavors transport you to a world of culinary delight. And that, my friends, is how you grill Wagyu to perfection. We hope you enjoy your culinary masterpieces as much as we enjoyed guiding you through this process. Until next time, happy grilling!